It is the greatest secret you were never told. Not because it's hidden in some forgotten vault, but because it's hidden in plain sight. In the air you breathe, in the light that touches your skin, and in the silent, electrical storm that rages within your own mind. It is a secret that has been whispered by mystics in ancient temples and proven by physicists in sterile laboratories. A truth so profound that once you truly grasp it, the world you thought you knew will dissolve like a dream upon waking. What if I told you that your desires, your fears, your deepest convictions are not just fleeting feelings but broadcast signals? Tangible, measurable frequencies that are constantly shaping the very fabric of your life. And what if I told you that entire industries, multi-billion-dollar empires of media, advertising, and politics, have not only known this for a century, but have weaponized it against you? They have learned to tune the symphony of the masses, to orchestrate waves of collective emotion, guiding the herd not with chains, but with carefully calibrated vibrations of fear, desire, and distraction. They don't want you to know that you are a transmitter, because a population of conscious creators cannot be controlled. A person who understands how to master their own frequency cannot be a slave to circumstance. They become the circumstance. So the question is not whether this is real. The question is, how long will you allow your signal to be hijacked? How long will you broadcast the frequency of the life you're given, instead of the frequency of the life you choose? The symphony of creation is playing all around you. It's time to pick up your instrument. Let's travel back for a moment. To the dawn of the 20th century, physics was in crisis. The neat, predictable clockwork universe of Isaac Newton was breaking down. Strange anomalies, like the light from burning embers and the bizarre behavior of electrons, defied all known laws. A revolution was brewing. In the year 1900, a quiet, reluctant German physicist named Max Planck stepped onto a stage and proposed an idea so radical it bordered on insanity. He suggested that energy was not a smooth, continuous river, but that it moved in tiny, discrete packets. He called them quanta. It was the first shot fired in a war against our understanding of reality. A few years later, a young patent clerk named Albert Einstein took that idea and ran with it, proving that light itself could behave like a particle. The floodgates opened. Soon, minds like Niels Bohr, Werner Heisenberg, and Erwin Schrödinger descended into the subatomic world, and what they found shattered our reality forever. They discovered that at its most fundamental level, there is no solid stuff. There is nothing but energy. A swirling, chaotic, vibrational sea. Every particle, every atom in your body, every star in the heavens is just a localized wave, a vibration humming at a specific frequency. Matter is not solid. It is music, a symphony of energy patterns slowed down just enough for us to perceive them as hard and real. When a physicist tells you that everything is vibration, they are not speaking in poetry. They are stating a brute experimental fact. The world is not a collection of things. It is a concert of frequencies. And here is where the secret truly begins to unfold. If the entire universe is vibration, then what are you? You are not just a body. You are a complex, resonant, bioelectrical instrument. Your brain, with its 100 billion neurons firing in synchrony, is the most sophisticated transmitter and receiver on the planet. Every single thought that crosses your mind, every flicker of hope, every shadow of doubt, is an electrical impulse, an electrochemical cascade that generates a measurable magnetic field. Your thoughts literally ripple out from you into the quantum field. Your heart, even more so. The electromagnetic field of the human heart is thousands of times stronger than that of the brain. It can be measured several feet away from the body. Your emotional state isn't just a feeling, it's a broadcast. Emotions of gratitude, love, and joy produce a smooth, coherent, harmonious waveform. Emotions like fear, anger, and resentment produce a chaotic, jagged, incoherent signal. For centuries, this knowledge was the domain of mystics, cloaked in the language of metaphor. The ancient Vedas of India spoke of Nada Brahma, the universe is sound. The Chinese sage Lao Tzu spoke of aligning with the Tao, the natural flow, the fundamental frequency of existence. Christian texts whisper of a profound truth: where two or three are gathered in my name, there am I among them. This is not just a call to community, it is a formula for constructive interference. When minds and hearts align with a single, focused intention, their individual signals do not simply add up. They multiply. They create a resonant field so powerful it can bend the arc of reality. What these ancient traditions intuited, modern science is now beginning to prove. The principle of resonance is universal. Strike a tuning fork, and another identical tuning fork nearby will begin to vibrate without being touched. They share the same frequency. Tune your radio dial to 98.7 FM and you don't create the music. You simply become receptive to the broadcast that is already filling the room. You have locked onto its frequency. So let's bring this into your life right now. Why do you feel stuck? Why do the same patterns repeat over and over? The promotions that never come, the relationships that follow the same script, the constant feeling of pushing against a wall. It is because you are broadcasting a mixed signal. You are living in a state of destructive interference. Consciously, with your mind, you think, I want success, I want abundance. You formulate the goal. But unconsciously, in your heart, you are broadcasting the frequency of doubt. You feel the anxiety of not having enough. You harbor the emotional memory of past failures. Your conscious thought is a wave moving in one direction, while your deeply ingrained emotional state is a wave of equal or greater strength moving in the opposite direction. When these two waves meet, what happens? They cancel each other out. The result is energetic neutrality, stalemate. You put in tremendous effort, you pedal furiously, but you go nowhere because your inner vibrations are at war with each other. This is the invisible prison that holds most of humanity captive. The belief that we must wait for the outside world to change before we can feel good inside. I'll be happy when I get the promotion. I'll feel secure when I have more money. I'll be confident when I find the right partner. This is a complete inversion of the law of creation. It is like waiting for your reflection in the mirror to smile first. You cannot receive a broadcast on 101.5 FM if your dial is permanently stuck on 88.3 FM. The universe does not give you what you want with your thoughts. It gives you what you are with your vibration. The field responds not to your wishes but to your resonance, the emotional signature of your being. This is the great work, the alchemy of the self, to achieve inner coherence, to bring your thoughts, your emotions, and your deepest convictions into perfect, resonant alignment. When these three aspects of your being, mind, heart, and will, vibrate as one, something magical happens. Your signal is no longer a chaotic jumble of noise. It becomes a pure, coherent, powerful laser beam of intention. You stop canceling yourself out. The waves of your thought and the waves of your feeling begin to march in lockstep. This is constructive interference. Their amplitudes combine, creating a signal of exponentially greater power. This coherent field that you begin to emanate doesn't just change your mood or your actions. It begins to interact with the quantum field in a new way. It becomes a vibrational mold, an energetic template. And by the law of resonance, the universe has no choice but to start arranging circumstances, people, and opportunities that match the frequency of that mold. The lucky person you know, the one for whom things just seem to work out, they are not luckier, they are more coherent. Consciously or unconsciously, they have achieved a state where their dominant inner reality of confidence and expectation aligns with their desired outer reality. They are not chasing success, they are a resonant match for it. They are tuned to its frequency, so it flows to them. Now, let's pull back the curtain on why this knowledge feels so foreign. Because for decades, a vast and sophisticated architecture of influence has been built around one primary goal: to keep you in a state of incoherence, to to keep your dial tuned to the frequencies of lack, fear, and desire. Every advertisement you see is a piece of emotional engineering. It's not designed to inform you. It's designed to make you feel a lack, a void, an insecurity that their product can then fill. It is a carefully crafted spell to tune you to the frequency of "I am not enough." News media, with its relentless 24-hour cycle of crisis, outrage, and terror, is not just reporting facts. It is conditioning a collective emotional state. It is an industrial-scale fear generator, because a fearful and anxious populace is distractible, malleable, and easy to lead. Social media algorithms are designed to provoke strong emotional reactions: envy, outrage, validation seeking. Because high emotional arousal keeps you scrolling, keeps you engaged, keeps you feeding the machine with your most valuable resource, your attention, which directs your frequency. This isn't a conspiracy theory. It is the business model of the modern world. Neuromarketers, behavioral psychologists, data scientists, they are the new high priests of vibrational control. They map your brain, they study your emotional triggers, and they design stimuli calibrated with scientific precision to synchronize millions of minds to predictable, profitable emotional states. You are living inside a symphony composed by someone else, and your passive consumption of it is your consent to vibrate at their chosen tempo. Neville Goddard, a visionary thinker far ahead of his time, called this relinquishing your role as creator. His solution was simple yet revolutionary. To reclaim your power, you must deliberately assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled. This is not faking it till you make it. It is the most advanced form of vibrational engineering. It is a refusal to let the external, 3D world dictate your inner state. You choose the destination first. You decide on the reality you wish to experience, and then you begin to generate the feeling, the vibrational signature of already being there, of already having it. You don't just visualize a new car. You feel the leather of the steering wheel in your hands. You smell the newness. You feel the pride and freedom as you drive. You don't just imagine being healthy. You feel the vitality coursing through your veins. You feel the strength in your body as you move with ease. You immerse yourself in the internal sensory experience so completely that the body and the subconscious mind do not know the difference between the imagined reality and the physical one. When you do this consistently, you are rewiring your neurology. You are altering your body's chemistry. You are changing your electromagnetic broadcast from "I want" or "I need," which is the frequency of lack, to "I have" and "I am," which is the frequency of abundance and fulfillment. You are becoming a resonant match for the reality you desire. You are turning your radio dial from the station of scarcity to the station of plenty. And when you do that, the broadcast has no choice but to come through. This power is not limited to your personal life. It is the key to our collective evolution. History remembers the turning points, the great revolutions of thought and freedom. But it often forgets the silent precursor to every major change, a shift in the collective consciousness. Before a regime falls, before a scientific paradigm is overturned, before a civil rights movement gains unstoppable momentum, there is an invisible change in the atmosphere. A new idea, a new frequency begins to resonate in the hearts and minds of a few. At first, it's just a whisper, a fringe idea. But as more people tune into it, as they align their thoughts and emotions with this new possibility, the whisper grows into a hum. The hum becomes a chorus. This is collective coherence. A small but highly aligned group of people can generate a resonant field far more powerful than a disorganized, incoherent mass. It is the physics of revolution. It's the same principle that allows a trained platoon of soldiers to collapse a bridge by marching in perfect unison, their synchronized micro-vibrations amplifying into a wave of destructive force. But this same force can be constructive. What if, instead of bridges, we set our sights on collapsing systems of inequality, of conflict, of environmental destruction? What if, instead of marching in lockstep to the beat of fear and division, We began to consciously, deliberately orchestrate a global symphony of peace, of healing, of shared prosperity. This is not a naive dream. This is a practical strategy based on the fundamental laws of our universe. Imagine millions of people, for just a few minutes each day, closing their eyes and stepping out of the chaos, not to escape, but to create, to broadcast a single, coherent signal, to feel with every fiber of their being the reality of a world that is healed. A world where the wars have ended, where the forests are regrowing, where the oceans are clean. Not hoping for it, not praying for it, but embodying it, feeling the gratitude for it as if it has already happened. A single coherent light can illuminate a dark room. Millions of coherent lights acting as one could illuminate the world. The field of collective consciousness is not owned by anyone, but it is shaped by everyone. Every thought of cynicism, every word of despair you utter, is a vote for the reality you claim you don't want. It adds to the static, to the noise. Conversely, every moment you hold the vision of a better world, every time you choose gratitude over grievance, every act of kindness you perform, you are feeding a new frequency into the collective field. You are strengthening an alternative pattern. You are a vote for the world you do want. The choice that lies before you is the most profound choice a human can make. Will you remain a passive receiver, allowing the broadcast of the world to shape you? Or will you become a conscious transmitter, shaping the world with the power of your own aligned frequency? This is your birthright, the ability to compose the reality of your choice. The noise of the old world is loud and distracting. Its signals are powerful. It will try to pull you back into its frequency of fear and limitation. The practice is to remain vigilant, to be the guardian of your own inner temple, to choose what you consume, the information, the conversations, the environments, with the care of a master musician tuning their instrument. The time for silent obedience is over. The time for being a passive passenger in someone else's reality has passed. The greatest power in the universe is not in governments or in armies. It has been, and always will be, inside of you. It is the power to choose your frequency. Choose wisely, for you are not just creating your own life. With every beat of your coherent heart, you are co-authoring the future of humanity. The symphony is waiting for its conductor.